Peace. This is S.S.Oracle, Shadow and Soul Oracle. This is Savvy. I started doing this relationship reading, and so I'm going to continue it by pulling some chakra zodiac to get some deeper energies. But just to get the scenario, there's two people in this situation. One person who is, well with themselves, like emotionally they're balanced, they're good, okay, like they're living their best life, they have relationships. I pulled the King of Cups, the World, and the Six of Cups for that side. So there could be a Scorpio or a Pisces or a Cancer who is doing good. They're not worried about a past relationship or a relationship that has ended. On the other side of that, there is someone that is. Right? There's someone that's in the Nine of Swords and someone that's in the Five of Cups. So someone is not well. They're not sleeping well. They're ruminating. They're in their mind and their head a lot. They're asking themselves a lot of questions. Why did I do this? Why is this like this? How did it get like this? Okay, in terms of relationships that are not working out. And it's like they turn their back on a good relationship. I also pulled the Lovers and the Five of Wands. So it's like a person doesn't necessarily have, what I was getting was like boundaries. They don't have boundaries. The Strength card also came out too. This was the last card that I pulled. That could be a Leo. But just someone who needs to learn like boundaries and someone who needs to learn self-control. This kind of energy was like a person who gets into relationships and they don't understand how or why they got into the relationships. It's like, say you go to a party and you meet people and then, you're having a good time and it's just like, hey, take my number down. And they're like, they take everybody's number down. You know what I mean? Like they'll connect with anybody and talk to anybody. And it's like doing that, like costed them like a relationship with someone that was in the King of Cups energy. You know what I mean? And I don't know what exactly caused the separation. I don't know. I think maybe it was just growth, possibly. Like the person in the King of Cups energy, solid, has an awareness of self, emotionally intelligent, emotionally guarded, has boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And this other person wasn't necessarily like that, but they realized that they don't have a deep connection with this King of Cups anymore, or the connection is not, fun anymore with this Six of Cups, this nostalgic, playful, childlike energy. Like the relationship's not fun with them anymore. And it's because there's a whole lot of conflicts going on in relationships that aren't necessarily equal or balanced with this person. And so with this Strength card coming out, it's letting me know that this person again needs boundaries or needs some form of self-control in dealing with relationships and potential friendships or partnerships or whatever that is. Like everybody's not your friend, everybody's not your friend. And if you have a relationship with a person who is more responsible with their energy, or more matured with their emotional awareness and like that's not going to work. That's going to create a conflict because you're going to feel that energetically. Like you're able to feel when a person has a lot of energies around them, and that may repel, and so I feel I'm reading for the person who was in this Nine of Swords, Five of Cups energy, who's losing sleep and possibly having nightmares, just not well in terms of why their relationships are so conflicting. And it's like, you need to have boundaries. You need to know why you want to connect with people and don't allow so many people to have access to you. I'm going to pull some of these chakra zodiac oracles for you right now. If this is you, if you were the person that was in the King of Cups energy, you're doing fine. You have relationships, it doesn't show anything here. I didn't pull anything that says that you may be feeling some type of way. It's just a matter of, having to turn your back on this person who essentially turned their back on you. We have the Peacemaker, which is the Libra card. So it's about finding balance. Libra is I balance. Maybe this person is a Libra. I heard air things out, because this is an air sign, but it's like airing things out, like maybe setting the record straight in some of these relationships where there's a lot of conflict. Okay? Like it's okay to let people know like that, I guess you've made a mistake, or you were too impulsive in the relationship or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, when someone's like, they get into a relationship, a romantic relationship, like unexpectedly, and it was like, now you have to break up with that person because you weren't even trying to be in the relationship in the first place, but you're trying to like let them down easy. Like I get that kind of energy too, where it's like you got to let people down easy, like air things out. Like, look, like I need to separate myself. I need to rebalance myself, realign myself, whatever it is you need to say to people, but you're trying to do so in a peaceful manner. All right, because it hasn't been balanced for you. Like there was a lot of overwhelming energy in the connections that you were developing. Let's pull one more. We have Creator, Taurus. These are both purple cards. So this is like crown chakra energy. Taurus is that I have in the zodiac, the mantra. So creating peace, creating your peace. What is your peace? Your peace doesn't solely come from relationships. Maybe that's it too. You were seeking multiple relationships to find peace. All right, and it's like what you have as far as relationship is what brought you peace. But now it's like there's a spiritual awakening happening here, and so you're being called to create peace for yourself and what that looks like for you as an individual. So isolation time might be necessary. These times where you might be up at night or feeling lonely. Like, how can you create peace for yourself? You know, how can you take care of yourself? This is a practical matter, too, because we're dealing with Taurus. Taurus and Libra are ruled by Venus. So love, right? Your self-love. What does self-love look like? Like, it's not dependent on relationships with other people. Like, those are just reflections. So it's like, what is peace and love to you? What does that look like when it's just you? That's the energy. Let me pull one more because I'm trying to get a chakra out of here. Let's see. Oh my goodness. We got Venus. That's what I was just talking about. So it's about love. It's about your pleasure. What pleases you by yourself. You know that when relationships, you know, turn, I guess, for the worse, or when relationship connections end and stuff, and we're led back to ourselves and facing ourselves, we really have to ask ourselves, well, what brings me peace? What brings me love? What brings me pleasure? And be honest with yourself about it, because you don't want to compromise that in a relationship. You don't want to downplay that when you're in a relationship, no matter what kind it is. You know what I mean? Like, don't give up what brings you peace, what brings you joy, what brings you pleasure for the sake of anybody, because that's not going to create healthy, harmonious connections and relationships. You're essentially fake in that regard. And I got to say it like that because whoever this message is for is going to receive it that way. It's like you can't show up not knowing who you are and just want to be like the friendly person. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. Like being too friendly and just wanting to accept everybody for how they are, but you don't bring yourself into the relationship. We can't do that anymore. Okay? You can't leave yourself behind and want to be in relationship. Like, that's you abandoning yourself. That's self-abandonment. Should I pull one of these star seeds? Cards are a little all over the place. Let me just pull one. Let's see. All right. So it's going to be all right. You just got to define what relationship means to you and why you would want to be close to a person, or why you would want to allow a person to have access to you. Okay. All right. You don't have too many mixed energies around you. It says, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. This could be about cleansing too, like cleansing your emotions, finding a balance again with the Libra card, balancing your emotions, the extremes of life, holding the opposites, so taking the good with the bad. Like, this is all a learning process. And it says surrender here, allow yourself to be taught through the emotions that you're feeling. Especially the uncomfortable ones. Okay, that'll create some form of wholeness for you by including everything that you're feeling as a part of your experience. Like, nothing is outside of what's supposed to be happening. Again, that 9 of Swords is not easy. That's I can't sleep at night. That's I can't get it off my mind. I can't get it out of my head. Okay, take some breaths. Air sign Libra here. Okay, and take care of yourself. Take care of your body. And allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and accept it and release it. Okay, as you learn how to find what is love for you, what does connection mean to you, before you just open yourself up to having a lot of relationships. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the services I have to offer, please click the link in the description. Peace.